Okay, also wir haben euch Fragen gestellt und ihr habt fleißig geantwortet. Die erste Frage kommt vom Death Metaller 86. Wann kommt endlich die Vinyl?
Ja, im Herbst. Irgendwann, sobald sie fertig ist. Nein,
keine leeren Versprechungen.
Keine konkreten Pläne, keine leeren Versprechungen. Eigentlich hatten wir nicht irgendwie sogar Herbst 23 anvisiert. Nein, wurde nichts. Dieses Jahr hoffentlich.
Schwierige Frage, ja. Es ist nicht so einfach auf die Reihe zu bekommen mit dem Album, dass die Tonqualität und die Länge des Albums halt auch auf die Scheiben drauf passt.
Genau, richtig. Ja, das ist leider sehr lang geworden.
Ein Presswerk zu finden, das dann so eine dekadente Vierfach-LP macht, für einen halbwegs anständigen Preis, sodass wir das nicht mit Verlust verkaufen müssen und auch nicht für 50 oder 60 Euro. Aber sie kommt definitiv.
Irgendwann, ja.
Und du kriegst auch eine. Von mir persönlich nach München gebracht.
Okay, dann haben wir die nächste Frage von Devastated. Mit denen haben wir auch schon mal gezockt, ziemlich cool. Mal angenommen, ihr könntet auf eurem Lieblings-Open-Air spielen. Welches wäre es? Ja, das ist natürlich schwierig. Ja. Du hast vorhin irgendwann mal Hellfest gesagt, ne?
Ja, also genau.
Das finde ich auch richtig geil.
In Deutschland fände ich Rockharz sehr, sehr geil. Oder Summer Breeze, noch größer. Genau. Wacken nicht unbedingt, da passen wir glaube ich auch nicht hin, oder? Spielt da gescheite Musik? Nein.
Aber falls jemand von Wacken zuschaut.
Falls jemand von Wacken zuschaut, wir kommen trotzdem, egal. Nein, also Traum immer das Rockharz. Da bin ich jedes Jahr und das finde ich so geil. Breeze und Hellfest.
War vor ein paar Jahren auf dem Freak Valley Festival. Das hat mir ziemlich gut gefallen, aber da spielt halt so, passen wir so gar nicht mit rein, weil die ganzen Stoner-Leute würden dann, glaube ich, ziemlich weggeballert werden von unserer Mucke.
Ja, müssen wir unsere groovigen Songs spielen. Da spielen wir halt Fireproof und One Side of Heart und
so 15 Minuten Set.
Genau, 15 Minuten Set mit den ganzen langsamen Songs.
Ist es daneben, wenn ich sage, wir würden auch gerne auf Mammut spielen?
Nein, Mammut wäre super, ja. Bucht uns endlich mal, wir bewerben uns jedes Jahr.
Die Bewerbung läuft noch, das Traffic Jam, ja.
Ja, also kurz gesagt, wir spielen einfach alles. Alles, wo eine Bühne steht mit 3 Steckdosen und ein Platz für ein kleines Schlagzeug, rufen uns an, wir sind da.
Ja. Das ist die richtige Einstellung, ja, genau. Okay, dann haben wir die erste englische Frage, die ist von Imperator Official. How do you think your music will evolve through the next songs or album, or will it just be the same?
Well, it's never the same. We have started writing already and it's going to be another bit faster, another bit more influences, more interesting, hopefully, more groovy, new melodies, new leads, new drum parts that I haven't ever played before, and I wrote them in Guitar Pro, and I know theoretically what I want to play, so I'm excited to see how that will turn out in practice. I will start next week to transfer everything from Guitar Pro to the drum kit. Hopefully it works. So it's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be up at least one notch from Soulkiller, because it's always going up. Yeah, that's my approach. Always try a bit more. It was the same with Soulkiller when we wrote and recorded Soulkiller. I had a few death metal influences because I was helping out a death metal band from Munich, friends of mine who had lost their drummer and were on a small tour, and they asked me to step in for him. And yeah, I had to play stuff that I had never played before and that I couldn't play, so I sat down to practice every day and improved, and those influences can now be heard on Soulkiller. So I think that's important for me when making music, to always try something different, to always go somewhere where I haven't been before. No matter if it's speed or more groove or more parts I've never played or odd rhythms or whatever, but always to make it interesting, to put something in that hasn't been in there before.
Yeah, I think the new stuff is going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit more melodic, but it's going to be kicking ass the same amount.
At least. And we're trying to kick it up a notch.
I think for the first album we all had to get to know each other a little bit, because we have quite a lot of different backgrounds in this band. And some might say that the best rhythm guitar player in Hollow doesn't even play rhythm guitar in Hollow.
Yeah, because that's Fight, the singer, who writes most of the songs. And
come on.
I mean, just the same as Tom, I think we had to work hard to learn each other's stuff and also each other's styles. And now that all of this has been internalized, I think it's going to be a more coherent whole in order to go forward. Yeah.
I'm quite sure it won't be another Soulkiller.
Okay, then Julie is asking, how long did it take you to make this album? And by that I mean from writing the songs to recording in studio, and how did you decide what to use for album cover? That's basically 2 questions, but it's okay. Okay, so how long did it take to make the album? That's good question.
Some of the songs are pretty old. Fireproof
some of the songs actually, I don't remember. Weapons of Mass Destruction was, when I originally wrote riffs for Weapons of Mass Destruction, the song was influenced by Truth from Death Angel, and that was on the Relentless Retribution, I think 2013.
So yeah, basically all of 10 years. Yeah, from starting together as a band, working on it, it was probably just before Corona, 2019. We worked on the first ideas together, and then we lost our bass player and our lead guitar player, and we found two perfect replacements, and then we had to restructure some things, some songs, put old songs back in that we actually didn't want to record, but then we said, okay, we can rearrange them, we can rewrite them a little bit, and we put one fairly old song in, Active Humanity. That's also one of the oldest. That already existed when I joined Hollowed in 2017, and then we completely restructured it through the Hollowed meat grinder, and what came out is what you can hear in the album now. And then the latest songs were like after Corona or during Corona in 2021. That's why the song is called like that. It was written at the end of 21 in the Corona chaos.
Also, you both got ran over by cars.
Yeah, we
slowed us down.
We had a few accidents. I dislodged my shoulder, and Josh had some leg problems, shoulder problems, because he was run over by a car. Yeah, car traffic is dangerous in Frankfurt. Yeah, it was all in all a process of writing together like 3 or 4 years, and then going to the studio, recording it was in summer 22. And then 2021 came out at the very last days of 2022, just after Christmas, I think. The rest of the album was then, I think, half a year later than we had actually planned.
The struggle of having a professional day job
Yeah,
while doing this.
So you have to buy our stuff so we can live from making music and don't have to work anymore. Then the next album will come quicker.
The production procedure, it was all made by us, and we had to learn.
Yeah, but now it's available, so now we can buy it. And regarding on how we decided which cover to use,
yeah, I think once we decided for the title that this album is going to be called Soulkiller, I think then we kind of sat together and thought about what could be a soul killer or what could represent a soul killer. And once we decided for an artist, especially, we looked through some of the pictures that this artist had already done, and we decided, okay, this looks really cool. And then we just sent him our interpretation for what we think a soul killer could be, and then he did just draw this figure that we all could think of as this is kind of like a soul killer.
His first draft was pretty perfect. So
Yeah.
when he sent us the first draft, we were convinced that A, he was the best artist for the job, and that B, there wasn't much to be changed. It was more or less 90% perfect, and what we changed or what we had him change was just minor details. Yeah, we were really satisfied with hiring Steve Stone for this.
Yeah. We also have a video on our YouTube channel where I talk especially about the album cover. So if you want to check that out, just
It's worth it.
yeah,
It's worth
just
it.
click on it. All right, then the next question is Hidden Faces is asking what motivates you to do your activity work performance in Hollowed? Answer for each. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. What motivates you to sing in Hollowed? Well, I don't want to go too far back. Like, I mean, when I was like a teenager, I was imagining to play guitar in Judas Priest, but that didn't work out. So once I went through a few bands and I was playing guitar, and at some point I was like, okay, you know what? There's so many other guitar players out there that are either equally good or maybe even better than me, that I was like, maybe I should just try something different. And then at some point I realized that I could scream kind of like, and I thought, well, maybe it's good enough to do some black death metal stuff, and well, then I ended up as a singer. So I think what really drives me as a musician is the thought that I once had when I went through a phase where I didn't have a band for a very long time, and during that phase I was listening to my songs. I have all kinds of music on my PC that I have written down in Guitar Pro or recorded and stuff like that. And I think at some point I was like, if I'm not gonna get a band done, if I'm not gonna be able to get this out there, nobody is ever gonna hear it. And that was so terrible and devastating that I was like, I need to get a band. It doesn't matter. I need to get this shit out there. And yeah, then I luckily found first Devil's Pulse, which then turned into Hollowed, and yeah, now we're here. So yeah, that's my main motivation, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I played in bands before, but I think I finally arrived here. It's awesome. What motivates me is to escape the everyday life. It doesn't matter what is. If you come here and play with these guys, everything is gone, and it's just an awesome time, and it's just fun. It drives me every day to work till the next time if I meet these guys and play with them, and it's every time it's awesome. I don't want to miss it.
So for me, it's kind of the case that the root cause of me making music is probably in my childhood, because I come from a family background where art was not only not valued, but it was kind of shunned and looked down upon. And unfortunately, all of my talents lie within the creative sphere. So especially playing guitar and music was what got some people's blood boiling to the highest extent. So for me, picking up a guitar, it's an expression of freedom, and I'm kind of beyond why. At this point, I don't do it for fun, I don't do it for success, certainly don't do it for money, but as long as I pick up my guitar every day, it's it's what I do, and it's an expression of freedom, and that's why it's important to me.
So I'll continue. For me, it's basically similar to the others. Expressing myself on the drums, maybe a bit showing what I can do on the drums, although it's not as much as maybe other drummers can do, but what I enjoy doing, and just getting out of the day job, getting to the practice room, getting behind the kit. Also playing gigs, of course. We played last Saturday in Frankfurt. Really cool show, small venue, but great audience. So that's what makes this fun, like to show people what we can do with our music, to express our riffs, our thoughts, our lyrics, share everything with an audience that then gives us the feedback. Hey, yeah, what you do is good, and we like your tunes, we like your lyrics. We jump along, we start a little mosh pit, even in a small venue, which was really awesome. Yeah, we even know a few of your song titles. We even maybe know a few lyrics. We know the odd chorus or two, and we try to sing along. And that's as a drummer sitting behind and watching the band in front of me, and then the audience in front of the stage, it gives me so much energy. It's just really awesome to see people react to my playing, and to see people react to us as a band. It's just a great feeling of happiness and of a rise in self-esteem, and it feels good. So it's great fun. Fuck money. It costs a lot of money, but it's just fun. It's what we do for fun.
Okay, last but not least, my motivation is it was always a dream to play in a metal band, and with Hollowed, my dreams come true. I can play always my rhythm guitar, and I love it. I love to play hard, heavy music, and it's really great to play with these guys. It's very, very important for me to do this, and I like it, and I love it, and I hope I can do this much more time.
Then we have the next question is from Azadi Festival. We've played there already. That's a great festival, and we're probably going to play there again. The question is, what is your inspiration for your lyrics? Well, you have written your lyrics too, so you also have to answer. Well, inspiration for lyrics, that really is a little bit from everywhere, a little bit, kind of like. So sometimes it's really me just thinking a lot, because, I'm actually kind of an introverted person, and I think a lot. Most of the time, it's just like random words that pop up in my head. Like, for example, when I was writing the lyrics for Shattered, especially, I at some point, I was in a very bad point of my life, but I was thinking, life feels like war, my eyes I swore, and I won't take it anymore. And I was like, hey, this is kind of cool, I should write this down. And that's why I also always have my phone on me, so I can instantly write all this stuff down. I have tons of notes, just with some random lines or song titles or whatever. But also, on the other hand, a lot of the inspiration comes from media stuff. Like, for example, Soulkiller. When I first read the word Soulkiller, that was in a pen and paper rulebook for Cyberpunk, and I read the story about the game and Cyberpunk, and then Johnny Silverhand and Soulkiller, which was before the video game came out, and I was like, how has nobody ever done a song or an album that's called Soulkiller? Because I thought it sounds so badass that I immediately wrote it down, and fortunately we could turn it into an actual song. And then also, obviously, media, like stuff that's just going on in the world. Like
News.
for example, yeah, the news are always a great source. Like
Thoughts and prayers.
The horrible stuff that humanity does on a daily basis is always great inspiration. Like Thoughts and Prayers, for example.
On
That
My
was-
Knees, Weapons of Mass Destruction. So
Yeah.
we have tons of songs whose lyrics are inspired by
Yeah.
the everyday news bullshit and the everyday newspaper article that you read about things going on in the world, where you basically have to turn this into lyrics to cope with reality. You have to write it down in your own words to comprehend the shit that's going on every day.
Yeah, it's coming from everywhere, basically. You want to ask?
I don't have too much to add to that, really. I think it's important that, well, for this band, I wouldn't feel like I'm in the position to actually dominate the lyric writing process, because I think the singer has to feel what he's singing. And yeah, maybe it's possible to give some inspiration, and my motivation to write comes from pretty similar place. I mean, I got positive response to my writing in the past. That's why I initially started doing it, and I wrote some lyrics for a friend's band of mine back in school. That's how I originally got into music, actually, but I don't write too many lyrics anymore.
Okay, next question is from Niels, and he's asking, what was your most chaotic gig experience?
I think we've been
Oh, there's
lucky.
plenty of those in the
I'm
underground.
Yeah, but we've been lucky, pretty lucky.
Yeah.
One of mine was we were scheduled to play as headliner for Azadi Festival, and I showed up there with my big kit, and it had been sitting in storage for months, and I hadn't set it up for a long time because we had a practice room with a different kit. And then I was beginning to set up this kit and was realizing, fuck, this is going to take forever to get everything halfway at a decent position to set up the big rig the way I like it to look. And the sound guy, the mixer, he almost killed me because he said, aren't you done yet? And he was totally right. So once again, sorry. I kind of took an extra hour out of everybody's time because I needed so long to set up the huge kit.
But the show was awesome.
The show was awesome, yeah. The kit looked good.
I can remember one gig that we played. It was the very first gig that we played with Hollowed. That was at the SPH band contest in Frankfurt. And I remember because I was unsure, like when you listen to metal a lot, you're at some point are like, okay, there are bands that are really good live, and then there are bands that are just, good on the album. And I was like, I don't know in what category we belong. So when we played our first gig, I actually, even though it was a band contest, I actually did not invite any of my friends because I didn't want it to get the blame afterwards if we suck. And the funny thing was, once we hit the stage, I think your click was not the right click for, we played Black Dog Graveyard back in the day, the first song that we played. I think your click was not the right, and you started playing, and then you immediately stopped, right? Before the intro was over, you stopped. And I was like, I was standing on stage, I was like, okay, we suck. Like, we suck. But then you got the right click, and then it was amazing.
Once
was
the
an
right click
awesome,
track was
awesome
on,
gig,
it was a great gig, and I still remember that one. It was real fun. And we made it to the next round. In the end, we made SPH band contest like 3rd place, something like
Yeah,
that.
I think
I remember the first gig with these guys in Corona, a video gig, no audience.
Oh, yeah.
And half of the songs, it was the first time I played half of the songs with these guys.
Yeah, because we weren't allowed to practice together. It
Oh,
was,
we still need to get the video from that.
oh yeah, we have to give us the video.
Maybe not, I was nervous.
And we're gonna play another streaming gig in June, I think, in Lichtenfels. So if you are too lazy to get your ass out of your house, you can still watch Hollowed because we're gonna play live from Lichtenfels on 28th of June.
I still remember my first gig with Hollowed. I think it was in late 2019 or early 2020, I believe, and it was before COVID, shortly before that. And we played at the mosh pit in Flörsheim.
That was
This-
January
this
2020.
ultra train station. And maybe I could add a little bit of visual aid to that. So what I play is a Mesa Dual Rectifier, and as a matter of fact, that is a US import, which is why the power supply runs through this transformer, as the US current is different from the European one, and then runs into the amplifier. I still remember one of the guys asking me whether I'm excited for that gig or whether I felt any nervousness, and I said no, I'm not nervous at all. Which in fact wasn't true. I could barely hold it together, and I forgot to place this transformer box. So I forgot to place this transformer box in between. I plugged the power directly into the amp, and what happened was the lights went out. And
Oh shit.
the owner, he got really mad. He started screaming.
Wasn't there also
kind of
smoke
idiot
coming
did
out or
that?
something?
No, that
I remember smoke. but
that
might
was
just
the,
be-
the last time we played there, but that wasn't my fault. I hope so,
Oh,
at
yeah.
least. And well, 20 minutes later, I told him that it was my fault because he was still worried about what had happened to his power supply network.
Okay, then we have a question from our American brothers. They're also called Hollowed, the band from America. They're doing some sludge, stoner rock type of stuff. They're really cool. You should check them out. We like them. They like us. We're cool. And they ask us, any plans to come to the US? If so, can we hope for a Hollowed Germany, Hollowed US show? Well, I mean,
Sure, invite us, count us in. No, it's of course it's a question of money, and then for playing in the US, even as a hobby underground, no money involved band, it's always a question of getting work visa. I think we five together would pay around $6,000 or $8,000 for the work visa. We would have to do a big tour with big audiences and big sales to get at least a bit of the money out. But yeah,
Right.
it would be fun. We'd be in.
Definitely.
If you supplied the instruments, then we could go undercover with the visa waiver program that is in place between the US and
Tell
Germany.
this live on Instagram. It might just not happen because it will cost us a lot of money. So
And we need to go to
Let's-
Maryland too.
Yeah, we need to go to Maryland.
we need to go to Maryland
Chris
to
from
check out Chris from
Chris.
Metalomania.
Metalomania, right? Chris and Kelly, big shout out. Listen to Metalomania if you ever have time on a Wednesday night.
Dann haben wir wieder was auf Deutsch. Luna fragt, was ist euer Lieblingsfestival, auf dem ihr gespielt habt? Tja,
Ja, Headliner auf Masadi war natürlich klar. Aber ich muss sagen, sorry Luna, no offense, für mich ist das Geilste, wo ich je gespielt habe, immer noch das Rock am Stück. Das gibt's leider nicht mehr, ist leider Corona zum Opfer gefallen. Rock am Stück in Fritzlar, das war tierisch geil. Einfach Donnerstagnachmittag auf einem größeren Open-Air-Festival zu spielen, auch wenn es nur die kleine Bühne und nur der Anfang war. Aber was da sonst so gespielt hat, das Wochenende über, dann Zelten auf dem VIP-Platz, nette Leute kennenlernen, die wir heute noch kennen, die mit uns jetzt am Nachbarcamp im Rockharz immer campen. Dieser
Knapp
Brücke.
den ersten Platz verfehlt. Um das
Knapp
mal
den
so
ersten
zu
Platz
sagen.
verfehlt,
Dann hätten
genau.
wir nämlich die große Bühne dann im darauffolgenden Jahr eröffnen dürfen. Ne?
Genau, aber das war eine echt geile Experience, weil die Crew auch so perfekt war und weil es so ein rundum geil organisiertes Festival war. Das hat riesig Spaß gemacht und es ist saumäßig schade, dass es das Rock am Stück nicht mehr gibt.
ja, es war sehr cool, auf so einer vergleichsweise riesengroßen Bühne zu stehen und der Sound war mega gut und wir haben an dem Tag auch Slave Becomes the King gespielt und der Song ist nicht unbedingt einfach live zu spielen, aber an dem Tag lief es auch absolut perfekt. Es war mega geil und es war auch einfach geil, so viele Leute Headbang zu sehen, die wir vorher eigentlich noch nie gesehen haben. Also war echt cool.
Aber das Asadi war auch geil.
Ja, das
die
war
war
auch geil.
natürlich-
Das
Danach das zweitbeste. nicht wahr?
glaube ich schon, ja.
Aber was man auch sagen kann, das beste Festival ist immer das nächste Festival, oder?
Ja,
Schaut dich
wow.
an, Traffic Jam und Mammut Festival.
Genau, also bucht uns, wir sind geil, wir zerlegen auch euer Festival, wir legen auch eure Bühne in Schutt und Asche.
Okay, ja, dann haben wir auch nur noch eine Frage, die ist von Marcel von Gift und Galle. Wie schafft man es, so geile Mucke zu machen und dabei noch so extrem sexy auszusehen?
Das ist nicht einfach.
Also das Aussehen ist der Instagram-Filter, obviously. Und die geile Mucke spielen, kommt halt so aus uns raus.
Also ich persönlich würde sagen, Bier trinken, rauchen, Hartalkohol, wenig Sport. Das wird wenig Sport.
Das stimmt.
Maximal Moshpits oder so. Ein
Genau.
paar Schuhe in die Fresse kriegen, das hilft auch.
An Musik kann man eigentlich auch immer arbeiten, aber das andere, das ist einfach Talent.
Ja, genau.
Und ein bisschen dunkle Beleuchtung.
Auch, ja. Also wir arbeiten mit allen Tricks. Es ist nicht so, dass wir morgens aufstehen und sofort so aussehen wie jetzt. Also da steckt viel Arbeit drin.
Ja, okay, dann waren das alle Fragen. Cool.
Vielen Dank für eure Fragen.
Genau,
Hat
vielen
uns
Dank, ja.
Spaß gemacht, die zu beantworten. Geile Sache.
Genau, und einer von euch gewinnt quasi ein signiertes Soulkiller-Album und da haben wir uns entschieden für...
Müssen wir auf Englisch sagen.
Oh ja, for fuck's sake.
It's Hidden Faces. Your question was, I think, the best. Also not so easy to answer, and you are the winner of a Soulkiller CD. Just message us your address, and we'll send the CD on its way. Very good. Thank you very much. And we're gonna practice a little bit now because We need a bit
Because
of
we
workout.
need to.
Yeah, because we need to. Yeah, and then see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you later.